This is part three, and this allows you to understand the dynamics of what's occurred and why Iran needs to complete what Israel started. Listen closely. This is part three.
Uh, and as John described to us with the hold Iran has on the Strait of Hormuz, and apparently with Iranian oil going out onto the world market, Iran looks like it is getting stronger over time. Its position is gaining strength. Now, I just want to say a couple of things about the statement that was issued today directly out of the events of the last 24 hours following the Israeli attack on Iran's gas field and the Iranian retaliation. 12 countries met in Riyadh, the Saudi capital, Qatar, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Egypt, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Turkey, and the UAE. And they issued a joint statement calling on Iran to immediately halt its attacks. Now, I am not surprised that these statements would condemn attacks on their own territories and their own energy facilities. I would be very surprised if they didn't do that. And I would even say it's understandable that they are condemning those attacks on their own territories. But what I do find astonishing is that these states do not include a single word about the US-Israeli aggression against Iran, nor do they call for an end to the war. They are clearly being devastated by this war economically, politically. The long-term consequences could be very dire for them. And it seems to me that if they were to take a unified stance against the war, they might be able to help provide the United States, if not Israel, with a ladder to climb down and spare themselves and the world further disruption and destruction. They could give Donald Trump the opportunity to say, oh, the war was going so well, but all these wonderful countries that I love so much asked me to stop, and because I'm so nice, I agreed. I mean, from their perspective, that would be worth a shot, right? With the exception of Oman, however, so far I have seen no statements from any of the regional states condemning the US-Israeli attacks on Iran, the murder of Iran's head of state, or the massacre of civilians, including 200 children. From a political perspective, their adamant refusal to condemn the attacks on Iran is counterproductive for them. I made the following point earlier today on Twitter, X, and I just want to share it. This was my impression, and I'll just share it. People worldwide watched Israel blow babies in Gaza to pieces day after day, and they didn't buy that Israel is the victim. Now they've seen Iranian schoolgirls blown to shreds by the US and Israel, and they don't buy the claim that Iran is the aggressor or that countries hosting US bases and opening their skies to Israeli warplanes are victims. It is clear Iran is winning the battle for hearts and minds, no matter how much politicians and their puppets try to spin it. You cannot claim neutrality, honesty, let alone decency, if you don't start any analysis or comment or condemnation from these irrefutable facts. Using bases across the region and under the perfidious cover of negotiations, the US and Israel launched an unprovoked war of aggression against Iran, murdering its head of state and massacring civilians with the stated goal of overthrowing its system of government and subjugating it to their rule. This really has to be the starting point. It doesn't mean that these countries are not entitled to be angry that their territory is being fired on, that their facilities are being attacked. That's what you would expect from any government. But it just seems to me that if they were to take a position that at least acknowledged the US and Israeli aggression, they would have more credibility and be in a stronger position to make the case to their people, perhaps to the United States, perhaps to the world, that security is something that everyone has a right to, including Iran, which clearly, having been attacked twice in the last year by the United States and Israel, has legitimate security concerns.
Now the question is, how does it end? Well, like I said in the previous part 2, Trump's already moved the troops in. So, unfortunately, the West, because of its arrogance, has underestimated drastically, the potential and what's going to happen when they make a move against Iran on the ground. They will not be successful. The U.S. will lose literally thousands of our young men and women, and older ones too. This is just incredible, the size of our ego and this quest for monetization, money. So, karma's a bitch, folks. Sorry about it, but what's coming will shock many Americans, and it'll have a devastating effect on the world economy, and it'll have a devastating effect in the United States. Meanwhile, Trump and his hooligans are going to make it worse for Americans also. Not a good note to end on, but that's the reality check for today. Please like and share. Please donate to the 501c3. I need to get this broadcast out here even larger and start bringing people in, experts from around the world, to roll out solutions. Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour.